was saying is that in the VS Code, the first thing I did was if I dispose it off, there's a go live. So how I did it, because there are a couple of guys who will join us today. They have missed the classes, no problem. I will, we'll back it up. You just see this is a VS Code, and we have here the extensions. And in the extensions, and I have to discuss it today, these things, because I will go from the top, doc type and all, and these meta tags, and add up our own meta tags. And we see what are these meta tags and all. And there are some assignments also coming on your way. And I say first thing we do was a live server. And there was a confusion in the Amir's mind that there is a server kind of a thing, and we are developing only the front end right now. And I told you that in the front end, we do not need the servers, because the server is you required when you have the backend and you do some kind of a backend logic there. So in that case, we have a servers and we have the databases, but right now there shouldn't be any server, right? But we installed the lives. It's not just a live, it's a live server, right? And when we installed it, we had here the go live kind of thing. Okay. So when I press the go live on my index.html, this guy which we built yesterday, I say go live, it will open up the stuff in the browser, right? So it's opening up the things in a browser. So the moment I said this thing, and there was a confusion that if I am doing this thing and is it, what is it called when we have, let me ask this question to Makhzoom Ahmed. Makhzoom, excuse me if I'm pronouncing wrong. Makhzoon Ahmed. What is it called that it's adjusting to the mobile devices and other screens? That
Sir, responsive.
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 Giving us a little bit of, thing that is getting responsive, that is going down and the div is adjusting to itself. But actually it's not responsive, but a little bit responsive, but not actually responsive. I will show you in a minute that it's not responsive. But first of all, I want to discuss about the live server. If you see this on the top of this URL box, there is 127.0.0.1, and then there is 5500. So what is this? After that, there is the index.html, right? Which is coming up there. So we need to understand what is this, what is happening here, and why server? Because it is a front end, it's HTML only. HTML is rendered in the browser. So why would we need the server? We do not need the server at all. But the thing is that the stuff happens like this. So we go to the OneNote. Hopefully we have OneNote somewhere opened. No. It's here. Here's OneNote. Okay. Now look at the OneNote. What I'm saying. I have explained it, but yesterday we didn't got the time to explain properly. And I want to discuss this threadbare today, because we have to discuss now the meta tags and everything. And I told you in the beginning that this is not the tutorial class where the HTML goes for 2 days and CSS goes for 3 days, what is on the Udemy and all. This is a full-blown course. So I may reiterate that thing, where we understand each and everything properly. So firstly, what happens is you have on the browser top the URL box, and you have done the homework of URL. What is that? Universal Resource Locator. So what the heck is this? So for example, we had a shop. We created a shop called sadajuta.com. Say for example, I want to name my shop site as sadajuta.com. Okay. Now, what is sadajuta.com doing? Because it is not, the site will not be running on my laptop. If it is site is only front-end site, okay. Because it is HTML file. Say for example, it was having the index.html. I do not need any server. It will run in the browser. Like you have some document file and you open up in a Word. You have the photo you open up in a Photoshop. You have an HTML file, it will open up in a browser, because browser has a rendering engine which render it, which create out of this code, those buttons and all, whatever the structure we have created in HTML code, it will create that and show us. Like in a couple of here, it showed us the thing. The browser can do it. We don't need a server, right? This is the one thing. But what happens is I'm not going to keep this site on my laptop only. I want to publish it. I want to give it to the people. I want people to access it. So for that, we need some company, okay, which are working in this domain, which gives us, is typically called as a domain, which gives us a domain. For example, we have GoDaddy.com. We have what? GoDaddy.com. Now, GoDaddy has big servers. They have big servers where they give the space, little space for my site. We keep it here in their computers. Okay. They charge us for the year, and they don't charge too much. They charge just 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees से शुरू हो जाता है. तो 1,000-1,500 रुपये उन्होंने दिए मुझे, और 1,500 रुपये में मैंने उनका वो छोटी सी एक स्पेस जिसमें मैं ये अपना फाइल डाल सकूं और यूजर इसको एक्सेस कर सके. अब चूंकि GoDaddy जो है उनके पास सर्वर्स है, और सर्वर बेसिकली 24/7 ऑन रहता है. ठीक है ना, इट स्टेज ऑन 24/7. तो ये उनका काम है, वो अपने सर्वर्स को खड़े रखेंगे. और मुझे जब भी लोग कहेंगे कि www.sadajuta.com, it should land to this GoDaddy server, and out of this there will be tons of people who have bought the domain, and but out of these whole servers, wherever my file is, it will go there, index.html. It will fetch that. How is it possible, firstly, to locate where is the GoDaddy.com server? Second, where is the machine and all, and where is it? Okay. So what is called as subnetting and all, IP addresses and subnetting. This you will learn in the HTML, because this is not my networking class, but I will tell you just because as a developer you need to know this. So first thing what we do is, there's another company which are running DNS, domain name server. It's a global company. Everybody who want to keep the name like GoDaddy.com, it should be firstly unique. Nobody should have kept it. GoDaddy.com, back na mai thevit, me still change karu. Agar mai kanse thomu chu kihin, मतलब Sadajuta for example, Sadajuta.com thomu pani site na. So agar nahi kanse thomu chu kihin, back ye thevit. Magar ye Sadajuta mach kah cheez. You see DNS chu karan kam, DNS banawe ak phone book pert, ak register. So any your IP address yem sun, ये IP address cache, ठीक है. Your लगाए sadajuta.com. Your क्या लगाए? Go ऐसे बनन z entries. Your बने sadajuta.com. अथ ऐसे equal to बाया election असली याशी बाया 240.190.210.1 याशी अथ पड़ी for example IP address यात पत करो subnetting सुनेरी अंदरिम निरंतिम and all that कि मतलब मैं मिलो address ही मिको. वो असली address ये शुन असली एड्रेस, यह मगर लुकन आसानी खतर, यह लुकन याद थवन खतर. क्या अगर बह नंबर्स दिम तमिस रोज याद कंस. Sadajuta रोज सिंपली याद मानी साइट हूं. इसलिए दिवान नाव इत पे, मगर यह असली नाव. असली एड्रेस यह एड्रेस क्या, यह सर्वर GoDaddy.com किस इसमें जाय तमो दित यह मे पन साइट थव. ठीक, क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? ओके. So now, when you write in the URL box, go to http:// this is the protocol कि भाई तो किस प्रोटोकॉल से आप ट्रांसफर करना चाहते हो. पहली चीज आप ये लिखते हो, क्योंकि प्रोटोकॉल बहुत सारे. आपका FTP हो सकता है, अगर आप सिंपल मेल ट्रांसमिशन प्रोटोकॉल होता है, SMTP हो सकता है. बहुत सारे प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं जो अलग अलग काम करते हैं. ठीक है. फिलहाल मैं इसको बता रहा हूँ कि भाई मेरे को हाइपरटेक्स्ट ट्रांसफर प्रोटोकॉल चाहिए. ये मशहूर प्रोटोकॉल है जो कि फाइल्स को क्लाइंट से सर्वर के ऊपर ले जाता है. सो HTTP आपको बताता है कि आपका फॉर्मेट क्या होगा, आपको किस तरीके से होगा. ये रूल्स है. These are rules. How you take this client data and put it to the server, request to the server. तो आप HTTP रिक्वेस्ट लगाओ. लेकिन पहले जब आपने लिखा URL में ऊपर ब्राउजर में लिखा आपने sadajuta.com, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. It has to go first to the DNS. DNS will tell us by Sadajuta क्या IP यानी ना ये एंट्री, ये मैं एंट्री पे इसमें लिखित है अथा कि ये 240 डॉट ये IP एड्रेस. वन गसी ये IP एड्रेस है HTTP सुमारी कनेक्शन केमिस सुमारी कनेक्शन GoDaddy किस तथ सर्वर किस तथ जाय सी तमीन साइट छे क्या तमिस मिलो ना एड्रेस में. समझ आई वा. इसके म्यून एड्रेस लेन A हाउस नंबर 44 शाह फैसल कॉलोनी सोवरा श्रीनगर इंडिया वगैरह वगैरह. ठीक है. मगर बह थाव अथ नाव जुनैद सर's एड्रेस च दबक जुनैद सर's एड्रेस ये मगर जुनैद सर एड्रेस मा कह चीज यह नाव एड्रेस क्या एड्रेस इंडिया इंडिया मज कश्मीर मज पत शाह सोरस मज शाह फैसल कॉलोनी पत लेन ए पत हाउस नंबर 34 ना वो तुम्हें घर यी तुम लोग मोन सोरे एड्रेस ठीक है सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज कि युस मे वोन जुनैद सर's एड्रेस लफ्ज वो जुनैद सर's एड्रेस मगर दिस इज नथिंग आई हैव टू गिव दिस जुनैद सर's एड्रेस टू डीएनएस करे और बयान कि जुनैद सर एड्रेस के अगेंस्ट आज लिखित और लेन ए हाउस नंबर 44 सोरे सु चीज and you will get it and you will get exactly to my doorstep ठीक है maybe with some courier if you are a courier boy now same is with the godaddy.com so that is why because I am putting my site on the internet so that everybody can use it I have to hire some space on some company who are having registered on the DNS DNS यह टाई अप कि तिम दिन में स्पेस पत सो एड्रेस तमिक IP एड्रेस दिन DNS कर सो नाव रजिस्टर तथ अगेंस्ट कह वन कुन जाय कर वन कह सो कर DNS ताल्लुकात DNS दपे यह फलान एड्रेस पे गो मे गि प्रॉब्लम कहें डज इट मेक सेंस ठीक है तो इस तरीके से काम हो रहा है आपके ब्राउजर पे अब जब हम लोकल होस्ट करते हैं जब हम लाइव सर्वर कर रहे हैं क्या कर रहे हैं लाइव सर्वर जो कर रहे हैं लाइव सर्वर कहां से ला रहा है फाइल यह करा लाइव सर्वर करा यह हुमिस शैडो कॉपी केमिस अम ब्रोह वोन कि यू राइट समथिंग ऑन URL box contacts the DNS gets you the IP address then you connect with the IP address or the actual location where the site is ठीक लाइव सर्वर करा शैडो कॉपी बह कर इथे पे मगर मसल कि मे कतन डेटा वह डेटा मे पन्निस लैपटॉपस पे मे फाइल पन्निस लैपटॉपस पे तम खुद करा IP एड्रेस 127.0.0.1 यह नेटवर्किंग मज मतलब गो 127.0.0.1 अत लूप बैक एड्रेस अमुक थटिस मज अगर लफज मतलब गो मोन यह एड्रेस अमुक शॉर्टस मज मतलब क्या गो अगर मैं पिंग कर पिंग अगर बह कर 127.0.0.1 बह पानसी पानस पिंग कर बह पानसी पानस डेटा सोजान बह यहां वो पन मोन नेटवर्क ठीक कि ना डू अंडरस्टैंड and then there is not only this thing there is always after that the colon and then there is the 5500 this is called as port number in fact this is not networking class but you need to understand each and everything networking class mein pari in detail that's parun zabardast put magar so if you somehow read networking with me then I will tell you each and everything about it IP address thing subnetting thing karan pat thing kasan baki cheez here you need to at least know what is port number ये पोर्ट नंबर क्या अगर तुम इतन ध्यान दियो ये साइट VS कोड कत ये अम क्या खुलो पोर्ट 5500 खुलो ना तलकन खुलो ना पोर्ट 5500 यह कम खुलो यह खुलो लाइव सर्वर मगर अगर तुम वो ब्राउजर ब्राउजरस मज अगर तुम नजर त्रो तथ वन 127.0.0.1 अम ना IP एड्रेस क्या वन क्या चाहे तुम हु लिखियो या तुम लिखियो IP एड्रेस तुम लिखियो क्या ओवरऑल IP एड्रेस असली लिखन यह sada.juta.com लिखान www.google.com लिखान islamiacollege.com लिखान चीज असली चीज IP एड्रेस सो इस्लामिया कॉलेज साइट छा कत सो वन DNS मुख्तस असली आसे मगर इथे पे कि यथ IP एड्रेस पे यथ पोर्ट नंबरस पे index.html यह कर सा मे ओपन ठीक क्योंकि 127.0.0.1 यह what is this 127.0.0.1 this is your local host अत local host क्या वना 127.0.0.1 is the IP address of local host it is the IP address of my computer it is my IP address or biggest terminal loop back address then there is the port number then there is what port number yaar 1 second here अंदर से phone कर रहे हैं. I have to just see what's happening. We'll come back in a minute. There is some issue because my father is ill, so somebody is calling me. I will just come back. Okay. Let me end this meeting and we will join again.